And now in English, please repeat after me. I go for refuge to the Buddha.
I go for refuge to the Buddha.
And resolve with all beings.
And resolve with all beings.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment.
And realize the great way.
And realize the great way.
I go for refuge to the Dharma.
I go for refuge to the Dharma.
And resolve with all beings.
And resolve that with all beings.
I will penetrate the teachings.
I will penetrate the teachings.
And uncover wisdom as vast as the ocean.
And uncover wisdom as vast as the ocean.
I go for refuge to the Sangha.
I go for refuge to the Sangha.
And resolve with all beings.
And resolve that with all beings.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many.
And transform this world into awakened lands unimpeded.
And transform this world into awakened lands unimpeded.
Now, please sit back down for another shorter period of meditation. Good morning. Now let us bring some movement back into our bodies by doing these simple mindfulness stretches. Please follow along. Did I do that right? Yes, I did.
Yes.
Good morning. Welcome in from the 10 directions. Welcome to the Zen Buddhist Temple. On this 29th day of December 2024, we acknowledge that this land where our temple buildings stand has been the home of Native peoples the Potawatomi, the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, the Council of the Three Fires, and also of Black Americans. We know that this neighborhood used to be a historically Black neighborhood during times of sanctioned racial segregation and sanctioned oppression. For our own awakening and for the awakening of all life, may the benevolent energies of our meditation, chanting, and full presence here in the service this morning extend to all beings on this planet and throughout time and space. May there be deepening of our interbeing. May peace prevail and wars cease. Good morning, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. My name is Tongsan, Catherine Brown. I'm one of the teachers here at the Zen Temple. And I would like to wish you happy last days of 2024. Many of us are glad to see it go. And many of us are not looking forward to 2025. The turning of the year at the darkest time of the year always feels awesome to me. Really, ever since I stopped going to the obligatory put on a stupid hat and drink too much parties, which was a very long time ago. This has always felt like the most awesome time of the year. For me now, it's not about parties, but about silence and about introspection, about taking stock, about getting ready, especially this year. We're going to mark this turn, or we are marking this turn at Temple. We've been doing a working person's retreat here that ends tomorrow. We will offer New Year's Eve and New Year's Day services. And we will offer a special chanting retreat on the momentous evening of January 20th, which happens coincidentally to be both Inauguration Day and Martin Luther King Day. The New Year's Eve service has a special place in my heart. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about it today. For two reasons. One, it's beautiful. Two, it's profound. Okay, yeah, three. It's the service that I attended as the first service I ever came to here at the temple in 1997. And it's the service that made me decide that this was my home. Okay, so three reasons. But really, the first two are the ones that are interesting. So, one, it's beautiful. We call this service at the darkest time of the year, kindling the light of wisdom mind. That's a metaphor, but we make it literal. Making metaphors literal helps us to feel them in our bodies and to really live them. So this room, outside those windows, it will be dark. but this room will be ablaze with candles. Each one of us will hold one of those candles. We hold the light in our hands. It illuminates our hands. It illuminates our faces. We will look at each other by that light. And we'll look into the coming year by that light. We will chant, peace to the world, happiness to you. Love to the world, wisdom to you. And there's always a moment at the end of the service when we all filed out, when the officiant will offer that anyone can just sit and candle gaze, because this altar is going to be full of candles. And the light will reflect from the golden skin of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas here. It's beautiful. Two, it's profound. Here's a cliche. You ready? New year, new you. Not exactly. In fact, I think even stronger than none. I think I want to be even stronger than none exactly. Not true. We each carry a heavy load of karma, individual and collective. Things we've done, things that have been done to us, things that our grandparents did, things that were done to our grandparents, things done generations before us. These things don't disappear just because the calendar year turns over. So in this service, we don't say new year, new you, but we do something deeper. We acknowledge the heavy load of karma. And we set intentions not to live by karma, not to live driven by our habits and the habits of our parents and the habits of our grandparents, all the way back to beginningless time. We resolve not to live driven by karma, dragged around by it, driven by it, but instead to live by choice. To choose to live in a different way. So this is a time to contemplate that karma and to work with it. So we contemplate it. Buddhist practice is about seeing clearly. And we can't work with our karma unless we see it and see it clearly. So in the Buddhist tradition, in all religious traditions that I know of, there are practices of repentance. And we have a ritual verse for repentance. And here's a version of it that is especially dear to me. It goes like this. All my ancient twisted karma, from beginningless greed, hatred, and delusion, born of body, speech, and mind, I now fully avow. That last word, I think, is really important. And it's why this version of that verse is so important to me. A vow. Acknowledge. Not beat myself up about it. Not confess it. But just acknowledge it. See it clearly. We all carry bad habits. It's the mud on our lotus, right? No mud, no lotus. So we're all muddy. So the mud on our lotus, another word for it, which I'm not really fond of, actually. But another word for it that we use in our tradition, I'd like to find a different word, but here's the word, defilements. I like mud better myself. But in the New Year's Eve service, we act on this contemplation of our karma by writing those defilements on a piece of paper. It's a very, very little piece of paper. I always hope I'm going to get a really, really sharp pencil or pen, right? So I can write really, really small. So we have time to write down all that mud on a little piece of special paper. And then we formally process one by one up here, where there's going to be a bowl of water and a bank of candles. And one by one, we make bow and make an offering of our mud. We've written it on special paper. It's called flash paper. So one by one, come up, make bow, and burn the defilements. And they go up like that. And the ashes fall into the bowl of water. When I'm up front helping with the service, I love to see each person's face illuminated by their defilements. And people smile as it goes up and flames. Of course, we've still got the defilements, right? This is not some magic cleansing thing, right? I'm still as messed up as I was at the beginning of the service. But the ritual helps us see. It helps us see that we can set intentions to work with those defilements. And that we can choose not to be dragged around by them. And we can resolve to live by choice and not by karma. So we write those intentions down. Also on a tiny piece of paper. Practice your tiny writing. We write those intentions down. And those intentions are collected in little baskets. And they're set on the altar. Two beautiful things about that. One, we write them down. Writing them down with our own hands makes them realer if we than if we just think them. Also, the whole ritual, it feels different. It's different from the ritual, the cultural ritual of making New Year's resolutions. And here's how, I think. They're part of this practice of contemplating our karma and resolving to live by choice. Karma's not choice. So we write them down, and then they're collected and they're set on the altar. So those two are an offering, and they're a collective offering. So my intentions for the year are going to sit next to yours and yours and yours, and they'll all be in there, and they're folded. Everybody tends to fold their intentions paper over, make it private. And I like to think of them as little mouths quietly talking in that basket. They're an offering. So yeah, they are resolutions, but they're also a collective. They're a collective religious act. And there's something sacred about that act. So they're collected. Each one of us gains strength and energy from everybody else, right? This is why Sangha is a jewel. And finally, at the end of the service, we break the silence with joy. And we wish every being a Happy New Year. It's my favorite part. We embrace the vast collective of all beings in the traditional Buddhist 6 realms of existence. The hell beings, the hungry ghosts, the animals, the human beings, the fighting demons, and the gods. And we all know beings in each one of these realms, metaphorically. Hell beings who are trapped in their own suffering, addiction, mental illness, karmic struggles, incarceration. Hungry ghosts, like members of my own family, who are starving with desire but never satisfied. Beloved pets, people, even the powerful who seem to live like gods. We shout Happy New Year to them all. We break out of introspection into the world, to the widest possible Sangha. It's a beautiful service. Way better than those parties. We have a little bit of time for Dharma conversation, for questions, comments, or maybe you might want to practice with this question. How is the turning of the year a spiritual moment for you?
I'll start off. Thank you, Jason, for the talk. Appreciate it. Whenever someone talks about collective karma, my heart and my mind goes back to the indigenous people of this land. And it goes to the enslaved people that were brought here. And they was enslaved for 246 years. And that wrong has to be made right. And oftentimes I see it right in the weather. It's being defiled. The water is poisoned. The air is polluted and the land is contaminated. And the earth, being a living being, is going to balance itself out. And I understand that. My Buddhist mom told me years ago, he said, young child, learn to live without expectations. He said, don't expect anything. Allow yourself to stay open to everything. And it takes time. He said, learn to master your words, master your thoughts, and master your body. He said, in all things, learn to become the master of what you say, do, think, and feel in every moment. And that only comes through my meditation practice daily. One day, I don't want to dominate this, but one day he came into the meditation hall and he set a cup in the middle of the floor. And he asked all of us to meditate on that cup and come back to his private chambers and tell him what it said to them. And it told me that a cup sits open and empty, silent and still. You can put milk, pop, juice, coffee, water into a cup. A cup don't reject anything going in, nor to attach to anything going out. And he said, the same with our humanity. He said, we're not disturbed, we only here to observe, to learn to see and accept things just as they are and as they have always been. So I don't have no expectations. I learned to live in every moment. No past, present, and future. No yesterdays, todays, or tomorrow. Everything is seen in every breath. Thank you.
It was, I don't know how long ago, quite a while ago, but I helped build this space with, when I was started remodeling, and this is the first time I've really ever been here to meditate and do this practice with people. So this is just, and it's my birthday today, so it's a special.
Happy birthday.
Thanks for being here with me, everyone. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. I found it most interesting what young Chow began with, because when you were speaking about the collective karma, my mind immediately went to the way we as humans treat the earth and the other living creatures on this earth. And that at some point, you know, it's like when they discuss the human species someday going extinct, whether intentionally or over time, but the earth will still be here and the earth will still recover from the harms that we have done it.
Oh, thank you, Young Chow. I think I already heard the wisdom of you and Eljon. So, no, I was reflecting on what both of you said combined, and that way the earth is the container. You know, we are the thing that comes and goes and changes, and the earth will always be here. It makes me think of this card that I have on my wall that says, the way we treat the earth is the way we treat ourselves. And I think that really applies beautifully to what both of you said in terms of the harm we inflict upon the earth as reflecting the harm we inflict upon ourselves and others. So thank you.
Hi.
I found this card this morning that was an intention that I made during a New Year's ceremony last year, and it said transform. And I feel a lot of hope for the coming years because I've done a lot of transforming, a lot of peeling off my conditioning. And so I feel like if I can do that, then so many people can do that. Then, you know, there's hope for everybody. And isn't that the lesson of the Buddha?
Announcements? Would that be Magamog? Making his entrance. Magamog.
Good morning, everyone.
Take the mic.
Take a
Yeah.
bow.
Mic drop.
Sure. Welcome, everyone. Please come and introduce yourself after the service. We'll be serving tea in the foyer over here. And we have a wide variety of temple programming this winter. I'll mention a couple of things. We have, as Tong-san mentioned, the year-end candle lighting service, Kindling Light of Wisdom Mind. So that'll be held on December 31st from 8 to 10 p.m. So this is an occasion to take stock of one's life and greet the new year in contemplation and reflection. So everyone's welcome to join us for this beautiful service. We'll also have a special New Year's Day service, January 1st at 11:30 a.m. If you have poinsettias at home that you're no longer using, would you like to share them with the temple? We want to make our Buddha Hall extra special for the year-end services. Here at the temple, we offer meditation classes on a regular basis. And this course includes some simple stretching exercises, work with the breath, meditation postures, concentration, and mindfulness practice. So everything you need to know to support your own home practice. We have a 5-week version of this course, offers 2 hours of instruction per week from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Thursday evenings. So there will be a course that begins on Thursday, January 9th. We also offer the same instruction in a condensed overnight format for one evening, Friday evening at 7 p.m. through noon on Saturday. And this version includes an overnight stay and breakfast at the temple. Our next overnight meditation class will be offered January 24th to the 25th. And then we have a special event, which is Buddha's Enlightenment Sitting, which is Friday, January 10th, beginning at 8 p.m. So come and meditate to awaken to your true nature, inspired by Shakyamuni Buddha, who sat under the Bodhi tree and came to freedom. You can sit from 8 to 10 p.m. and or 10 p.m. to midnight, or midnight until 4 a.m. So you're encouraged to bring an offering of flowers, fruit, candles, nuts, incense, dried fruit, or money for the altar. Everyone is welcome. And that's going to be on Friday, January 10th. Every Tuesday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., we offer yoga with David Black. So beginning and experienced students in these classes learn traditional yoga postures. This is Hatha Yoga, with an emphasis on relaxation, concentration, and working with the breath. The instructors were trained by the Sivananda Yoga organization and combine that experience with meditation training. So the cost is $60 for 6 sessions, or drop in $12 per person. We have a family service, which runs on the second Sunday of each month from 9:45 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So please let your friends and family know about the special monthly service for the cultivation of concentration, kindness, and Dharma fun. Every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m., we offer opportunities for work practice aimed at helping us maintain our temple buildings and grounds. And it's also a nice way to get to know other members of the Sangha when we work together. So we consider hands-on work to be a vital aspect of our Buddhist practice. As we care for the temple, we care for ourselves. So that's on Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. We hold an early morning sitting for members each Sunday from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. with breakfast included. Breakfast is at 8:15 a.m. And then the temple currently has vacancies in our residential visitors program. The visitors program is for people who want to spend some time living in a Buddhist community. They follow the daily schedule and participate in programs such as retreats, study groups, public services, and yoga classes as their schedules permit. Having lived here at the temple for 5 months now, I can wholeheartedly recommend this. So consider that and come and talk to us if you have questions. One can seriously pursue one's spiritual path or simply seek peace and harmony in a wholesome environment. And in addition to our services and events, the temple also serves as a training, seminary, and monastery. So we offer programs designed for lay people in an urban setting to help support daily practice and study, as well as programs for those interested in full-time Zen training to become a lay Dharma teacher or a priest. Please inquire with Ma'om over here if you're interested. And our next training semester begins in January. The temple is supported entirely by your generous donations of time and money. Our fall fundraiser is in full swing. We're raising funds to improve our sound system in the Buddha Hall, replace the broken stone on our pathway at the front gate, continue our landscape plan, which includes meditation spaces, and to increase our scholarship fund to offer support for tuition classes, training programs, residency, and peace camp. And we've already raised $19,309 toward our goal of $28,000. So thank you to those of you that have donated already to this project. We appreciate your generosity. Any amount that suits your current situation is greatly appreciated. So some ways to donate are for checks or cash donations. You can use the small envelopes in the foyer and write your name on the envelope. You can also donate using a credit card with our iPad and Square app, or visit our website and select Fall Fundraiser in the drop-down menu on our registration page. If you'd like to volunteer your time, Saturday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. is a good way to do that. If I'm not mistaken, will there not be yoga this Tuesday because it's New Year's Eve?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So we can leave the Buddha Hall like this. We don't have to clear mats and cushions today. And then please join us for some, Recovery Dharma.
Recovery Dharma, if you wish to journey with us to escape the hell realm of your addiction, we will be meeting at noon today in the big yellow building, the historic Buddha Hall next door.
Okay. And then please join us for some tea in the foyer. We look forward to speaking with you.
Let's end formally with the 4 great vows. All beings, one body.
All beings, one body.
I vow to liberate.
I vow to liberate.
Blind passions, one root.
Blind passions, one root.
I vow to terminate.
I vow to terminate.
Dharma gates, one mind.
Dharma gates, one mind.
I vow to penetrate.
I vow to penetrate.
The great way of Buddha.
The great way of Buddha.
I vow to realize.
I vow to realize.